Hello, good evening. Today we're going to be going into how do you set the pace that's sustainable, right? Well, how do I set the pace that's sustainable, and how can you do it for yourself too? And then also, how do you continue to move forward in faith, trust, and conviction, right? And because that's really what it comes down to when it comes to your pace, right? How do you move forward in faith, trust, and conviction when you have no calls turning into sales, you have no clicks turning into sales on your website, right? Perhaps you have people who are failing to make payments for your product or your service. And you're thinking to yourself, is, this future version of yourself, the vision board perhaps that you created at the beginning of the year, is that meant to happen? And you're losing the doubt, right? And so more specifically in this episode, we'll be going into how did I continue to move forward in those moments in my business and how you can too, right? And in theory, I would ask you to put in the comments, what's going on in your business, and what is it that you are losing faith in? But I also know some of you are shy, prideful, right? You don't want to raise your hand and say, help me. Chances are you probably have people offering to help you and you're like, no, I'm good. Meanwhile, your hair is falling out, right? And so I'm not going to ask you to type in the comments what your struggle is unless you feel comfortable doing so, right? Ask and you shall receive. Don't ask and nothing is coming your way, right? So if you do feel comfortable, type in the comments, why is your trust in your entrepreneurship journey weighing you down, right? What is it that has caused you to lose that faith, that trust, and conviction, right? And so in this weekly live show, Entrepreneurship is a Marathon with yours truly, Vanessa Zami. I take a deep dive into tactical strategies to keep you moving forward in your business without the overwhelm. Every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, and I think like 11 a.m. the next day in one of the time zones in Australia. So today we'll be diving deep into how to keep moving forward in faith, trust, and conviction for your business. First, who is here with us in the audience? I was in a conversation earlier today with people from Australia, and so I was like, oh, I have lots of friends everywhere. So who is here with us? Where are you tuning in from? Oh, hello, Umbrella. Yes, hello. Yes. And is it Amberella? Yes. Pleasure having you here with us this evening. And yeah, right. So where are you located? Yes. What is happening? What is happening? And for some reason, I'm not able to see the names here in the comments view. So next time I do the show, I will, with the StreamYard platform, I'm going to look that up. But anyways, with that being said, even if you're watching a replay, hashtag replay, right? And so the whole point of Entrepreneurship is a Marathon is, we don't need more people starting businesses. We need more people continuing. We need more people finishing. We need more people not giving up, right? That's what this Entrepreneurship is a Marathon business show is about. And that's what I do essentially. And for those who are, every Tuesday evening, it's happening every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. So I want you to mark your calendars right now. I'm about to share my bio. It's about 5 sentences. So you have time to grab your calendar, whatever, you set your alarm and just put in 9 p.m. Eastern, whatever time it is for you, where you are, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, or 11 a.m. during some point in time in Australia. And so hello there. My name is Vanessa Zami. I'm a business consultant, speaker, and best-selling author. And I'm the creator of the Hustle and Breathe Business Accelerator, through which I help full-time employees transition into full-time entrepreneurship by growing their profit-producing, purpose-driven business, right? And my focus is on essentially getting you to increase your efficiency and your productivity so that you can increase your profitability and eventually then quit your day job and do your business full-time, right? Because you already launched your business and, it's not where you want it to be. And so this episode really comes down into how do you set the pace that's sustainable? How do you continue to move forward in that faith, trust, and conviction? We'll start off with the sustainable part, right? When I say sustainable, what do I mean? So you have the slow and steady camp of people, right? Maybe you've noticed this, maybe you haven't noticed this in entrepreneurship. You have the slow and steady camp, and you have the go big or go home camp, right? The go big or go home, right? Go big or go home, like burn it all out, burn the bridges, woo, right? So that camp, I like to call them, we're calling the burnout culture. I'm not even sure if that's even a word, but I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to say that's in the show. Why not? So go big or go home is burnout culture, right? It is, and maybe you've tried that and you find yourself always tired, always irritable. You feel like you're losing control out of things. It's just always something. You're sleepy, you're dehydrated. Perhaps you're finding yourself, you get in bed and you're just like, I don't get what's happening, right? And so really the umbrella of this topic here is essentially slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race, right? So every Tuesday, I've been going running. Well, I took like a year and a half, break from running, but now back into it essentially during the past 2 months. And every Tuesday I go running. So like essentially today, 13 hours ago, I was running in a park in Massachusetts. And the key to long distance running, right, is pace and breath. Right. The key to long distance running is pace and breath. And that's what entrepreneurship is. It's a long distance run. Right. And here's a reality. You're not going to win every race. Another reality, mile 3, right? Your third mile is going to feel different than your first mile. And most of the time, the third mile is more difficult than the first mile because you've already gone 2 miles. And so it's just like your body's like, do a lot more stuff. Other people, by the time you get to mile 5, maybe you find your stride. But then mile 10, you're like, oh, this is a struggle, right? And so the thing is, at the end of the day, yes, business is simple. Like when you come down to it, business is marketing and sales. That's it. It's real simple, folks. It's literally, right? But why is it that there are 93% of the people in the world are not in business, are not in entrepreneurship, right? Why are you the only one of your friends in entrepreneurship? Or why were you? But you probably have new friends now, right? But when you started out in your business, and you were out here like, I'm a corporate employee, I got my business now, and you're launching your business, and you're reaching out to friends and family like, hey, I got this business, right? And they're like, what? Right? Why were you the only one of them, right, in entrepreneurship? The reason why is because, yes, business is simple, but it's slow and steady, right? It's not a get-rich-quick thing. That's probably what you're realizing right now. And the thing is that, and maybe you've been in business for about 2 years now. So you're like, but Vanessa, if it's not get-rich-quick, it's been 2 years. What's happening? I don't get it, right? Maybe you're not getting the consultation calls turning into sales, right? You have calls with people, but it's not turning into sales. Or you are getting lots of clicks, but it's not turning into the sales that you want, right? Maybe you've been able to get maybe a couple hundred a month in e-commerce sales, but you can get more than that, right? Or maybe you're finding that in terms of your, consultation calls, you're getting people, but it's not happening, right? Or there's someone from Memphis, Tennessee. I was there like in September of, not this past year, obviously, because of COVID, but I was there in September of, I think it was I forget the years now, 2019. Woo, wow. But yes, but essentially, great place, cool place. Definitely up and coming. But anyways, with that being said, I saw the prompts there. Hopefully you're good there in Memphis. But with that being said, right, so back to the topic. So you're not getting consultation calls that are turning into sales. You're not getting clicks that are turning into sales. And you're like, okay, Vanessa, I get it. Like it's slow and steady. But I've been doing this business for 2 years. I don't understand what's happening. Like I'm doing stuff and it's not working, right? And here's the thing. I was also in the place where early on in my business, I was also on consultation calls that did not turn into sales, right? When I started my business, I was also on consultation calls that did not turn into sales. The thing is here, same thing happens to every guru that you see on the web. Every guru that you see on the web, same thing happens to them, right? In the beginning, consultation calls do not turn into sales, right? After the next couple of months, if you're still in that place, here's what you need to do. Here's the thing. For me, right, what kept me going in terms of and having that faith, trust, and conviction, even in those moments when I didn't get those, the sales that I wanted, so to speak, right? I wasn't able to inspire and inform and motivate people to really invest in themselves and what they needed to keep them moving forward in their business, right? So when that was happening at the beginning of my entrepreneurship journey as a consultant or coach, everyone term you want to use, right? But essentially as a business consultant, really what kept me going was my purpose and my belief. Right. What kept me going was my understanding and my faith that I am on a mission and it is the right mission that I am on. Right. It is the right movement that I am on. Right. And so it's not. And that's why essentially I focus on working with people to help grow their profit producing, purpose driven business, because entrepreneurship is a marathon. Right. It is slow and steady wins the race. Right. It is things happen. Things don't happen the way that you want it to. So what keeps you going is ensuring that you are working on something that actually matters to you, right? It's not just something that can just be thrown off in the wind. It's actually something that you believe there's a message behind it, right? There's a movement that you are creating. Not just the legacy, like, yes, there's also the legacy that you're looking to build for your kids and the empire you're looking to build. Maybe you're the first in your family to, own property or have a business or go into entrepreneurship, whatever it may be. But even beyond that, right? There are lives that you're looking to impact. There are people and lives that you are looking to impact, right? And so that was number one of what got me to continue moving forward in that. And with that being said, though, I don't like being stuck in problems, right? And so I'm naturally a problem solver. So I started analyzing patterns. And this is what you can do for yourself too, or connect with someone to help you out, right? And I realized that I was selling, so to speak, but it wasn't really in a style that I felt comfortable in. And so because of that, I was uncomfortable selling. Thus, I was uncomfortable talking to people. And they could feel that, right? Like you can kind of like, maybe you could think back to in-person events. But essentially, perhaps we were at the happy hour and you have a conversation with someone and they're a little bit awkward, right? Like you can feel that. Like you can feel that, right? Guess what? Same thing happens in consultation calls. Same thing happens in discovery calls, clarity calls. Like people can feel that. People can feel that energy, right? And so that is what was happening for me. And it was essentially, but for me, I also was like, well, that's the only selling style that I've been taught thus far. I don't think there's anything else. So maybe I just got to get comfortable with that style, right? So I thought. But ask and ye shall receive, right? Ask and ye shall receive. Look at that coming up again in the show, the episode. Ask and ye shall receive, right? And so essentially, I went about searching and I found an approach that worked for me, right? And so now at the place where I have been for the past year, essentially, just have conversations with people and discussions with people and just being very casual. And, some close, some turn into clients and they're skyrocketing their business and they are moving forward in their purpose and their mission with the support and guidance that they need. And some do not, right? But maybe they will one day and they'll realize that they need the help, right? But how do I keep moving forward? It's faith and belief. And here's the thing. It's also knowing that I've heard of, maybe you know someone, but knowing that I have heard of, has a 100% close rate. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm normal, right? Knowing that I've heard of has, every person click on their site and voila, it's 100%, everyone who comes on the site buys something. Haven't heard of that yet. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm still on the good map, right? And so with that being said, for you, when it comes down to it, yes, you are not getting perhaps the results that you think you should have gotten, right? And maybe even worse, you got people failing to make payments. And so you're like, oh, I got someone to join my program, or I got someone to, buy this product and they bought it on this like afterpay system or something like that. But then the pay doesn't come, right? What do you do then? Do you stress about it? Do you pull your hair out? Do you change? That's probably what you're doing. But I'll give you an example of a client I was working with, and she owns essentially a marketing consultancy. So she's working with, high ticket sort of dollars. And before she, time that she came to me, I remember one of our first sessions that we went into in terms of pricing and packaging, right? She was losing payments left and right, right? And so she would do the work for people and then invoice them and then nothing, right? What we did then was to implement a deposit system for her, right? Where she wouldn't take the full payment, but it would be a deposit. And then she wouldn't give them access to the, product, website that she designed for them until they finished the invoice, right? And so it's kind of like they were able to still get the support. She was still getting paid for her service, right? But there was also still that accountability measure and level when it came to financial perspective, right? Now, at some point, I mean, there was an example, such a couple months into working with me, such at some point she worked with a small church. And it was a small business, a local church in the area. And they didn't pay. They paid the first deposit, but the second deposit they didn't pay. She contacted them, they didn't respond. It was like they just ghosted. Now, a couple of weeks later, we'll then find out that apparently they had some IRS issue. Right? Drama. They had some IRS issue. And, essentially 3 months go by and essentially she was on the phone like, oh my God, they haven't paid me. Like, I don't understand. Right? And she's just like panicking over this payment. And I'm telling you the same thing that I told you guys. Right? And the thing is that, so what? Right? I say so what because it's so what? Right? And for her, right, it was getting her to understand and realize, so what if they didn't pay? Because one, you protected yourself in that they don't have access to the website. So if they want the website, they'll get it. Right? Two, you win some, you lose some. This is the one that we've lost, right? We'll follow up again in a couple of months, but right now we'll consider it a loss. Keep moving forward, right? Not only that, but now she has something in her profile. So it's not even in her portfolio. Well, she already had something in her portfolio, but she has even another website, right? To add to the dozens of websites she already has in her portfolio. And she's actually really proud of the website. And so it was something to add to her portfolio either way, right? And not only that, but for her, she has other clients too, right? So her business is scaling and growing. And so even if this person does not submit their second half of the invoice, right? She had set herself up successfully, right? We worked together to set herself up successfully, set her business model up successfully, such that did not matter, right? And then two, right, in terms of just like financially didn't matter, but also two, emotionally didn't matter because, it was like, oh my goodness, this church is not paying me. Tomorrow she has, the next day, right, she has 2 consults scheduled for 2 potential other clients, right? And so it's one of those things where when you're at the place where your business is moving, and when you're at the place where you are having that patience and that belief, right, these things become so much more easier, right? When you are at the place where you are free and prosperous and you're working in a flow with your business, right? You're no longer stressed and irritable. You're in control. You're peaceful. You're no longer busy and overwhelmed. You're productive and calm, right? You are showing up and showing out, and you are flowing and running your world, right? Running your world. And that is a place that you want to be with your business, is a place where you are running your world and flowing, right? And then here's what happened, like my consultancy, right? She actually ended up getting that money, right? So what happened, essentially, we spent 3 months, essentially, once she put the thing back of her mind, getting business still growing, all that jazz, all the clients coming in. 3 months later, after the date when the church was supposed to give her the money, they eventually ended up paying. Right? And she didn't even message them or email them, right? Because they knew they had to pay something, and they just had other things going on. And so it wasn't anything personal, it was just business, right? They just had other things going on. Maybe they probably had accounts that were frozen, etc. And but eventually they ended up paying the invoice, right? And she ended up making more that month than she had anticipated, the month that they paid her, right? Because she hadn't expected that payment to come in. But voila, ta-da, things just happen. Amazing how the universe works, right? But with that being said, essentially, in summary, patience, belief, and faith, right? And if you believe in your purpose, if you know that you are on the right mission, if you know that your business is what it is you're meant to do, right? Then that belief will not be an issue. If you know that there are lives that are meant to be impacted in the way that you want to impact them, maybe you want to help people feel better in their skin, right? Feel better in their body. Maybe you want to help people actually achieve generational wealth. Maybe you want to help people be less financially stressed, right? By ensuring that they are balancing their books properly, right? If you are on, or maybe you just want people to just look good and feel good, right? Not even just, you want them to look good and feel good, either internally or externally, right? And that is what you're working on with your business. Maybe you have a skill and a passion that you are passionate about. Like you are a creative entrepreneur. You're like, listen, I just love designing things. I just love designing clothes. I just love designing, websites for people. I just love designing, templates and social media stuff for people, right? And that is your passion. That's your purpose. That is your mission, right? Then that belief is already there. That faith is already there. Now, yes, it does wane, right? When sometimes, you're running a race. You're running a race and it's just like, I know I said I was going to keep on running without stopping, but maybe, my thighs are a little bit in pain, right? And so that's probably what's happening to you right now, where you're thinking to yourself, okay, maybe you do stop, maybe you do pause. And I'm here to tell you, do not stop and pause. That is not the answer, right? That is not the answer. I was just on the phone with someone earlier today, and she had a business for 3 years. And it's not where it should be, right? And so we were on a call, essentially. So she had actually reached out to a friend who then referred her to me. And we were on a call earlier today. And essentially, she was telling me all about her situation. She had launched a business 3 years ago, and it was a beautiful mission, right? Beautiful mission in terms of developing products, right? Developing a doll line that essentially is for people to be more inclusive, and in terms of, toys and other such things, right? And so it's a beautiful mission in terms of why she's doing it. And for her, because she felt ugly as a child, and she felt like she couldn't play, the dolls just weren't for her. And so now what she's already done in the past 3 years, essentially, she launched this business. And for her, though, it's not where it should be, where it could be. And she was describing all this to me, but she is sort of like her last final stretch of, okay, I'm gonna give this another 2 years, right? Because she knows the reason why she's not quitting is because she knows that this is a purpose, this is a mission, that there is something to this business. It's just a matter of understanding what is the proper way for her to get it going, right? What is it that needs to be fixed? How do we revamp the entire marketing structure, the entire sales structure, the entire business structure, right? To get her moving forward in her business, right? Because the thing is that it's not that you're not meant to be an entrepreneur. It's not that you're not meant to, keep moving forward in your business, but it's that essentially you need to find the right way and strategy to get you moving forward, right? That's what it comes down to. And so with that being said, hope this is helpful for you. To summarize, I'm going to summarize that's what we talked about here, right? Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. Literally, patience pays. I'm proud of that. Patience pays, right? And when I was starting out my business, I literally was, every sales call I was on just with a flop. And I was like, but that person was so ideal. Why didn't it work? I don't get it. What's happening? Because my energy wasn't there, right? I just wasn't doing the sales that I wanted to do, right? And at the end of the day, I also wasn't clear on my product and market. It's a whole other story. But essentially, right, it's understanding what are the patterns that you are failing at and admitting that you need help in that area, right? Admitting that, okay, Maybe it's not sales that I'm good at. Maybe it's not, you know, my messaging is not clear. Maybe I'm not actually clear on what it is that I'm actually giving to people, right? It makes sense to me, but when I say to people, they're confused, right? So whatever it may be, that means that there's a problem there. You need to fix it. So if you actually believe in your business, then you're going to make the time, money, and energy efforts that you need in order to fix that problem, right? And so fix that problem. Once you identify the problem, go towards fixing it and solving it, right? And there are different ways to fix and solve problems, right? There's Google, there's doing it yourself. There's also just a quick way of just reaching out to people to help you out, right? And that's really what it comes down to. There are mentors, coaches, consultants. There are other business owners. And I know a lot of people like to reach out to other business owners. Unfortunately, they're worrying about their own business, and so sometimes they're not able to give you like specific advice. But they can still be helpful. Maybe open your eyes to people who have helped them as well too, or maybe people that they've come across. And so reach out, essentially. Ask and ye shall receive, right? So slow and steady wins the race. Ask and ye shall receive. And then the third thing as well too, you're not alone, right? There are many other business owners who are also struggling as well too. They may not be out here raising their hands, right? They may not be out here like on your news feed, like I'm struggling, help me, right? They may not be out here like saying that they're struggling, but there are definitely people who are there struggling. There are people who are crying themselves to sleep tonight, unfortunately, right? And this is what keeps me moving forward in terms of helping less people cry themselves to sleep, helping entrepreneurs, essentially less entrepreneurs cry themselves to sleep and have them smile, right? Have them actually have a good night's rest, have them stop being stressed and irritable and move towards being in control and happy and peaceful, right? Help them to stop being busy and overwhelmed and move towards productive and calm. And at the end of the day, just go from, you know, the struggle bus to the growth bus, right? The struggle bus to the growth Lamborghini, right? So, right, with that being said, and so that's what keeps me going, is ensuring that, you know, there are as many entrepreneurs that I can touch and help and guide to underwhelm or overwhelm. So this is Vanessa Zami here on this episode of Entrepreneurship is a Marathon. I am the business consultant for overwhelmed entrepreneurs, fixing your hustle so you can take care of yourself, while also taking care of a business. Now, I am here with you each week. You can scroll through my social media for even more posts. You can even get my ebook on Amazon called Finish, the Solopreneur's Guide to Getting Stuff Done. Just Google my name, you'll find it. But here's the thing, right? There's more to entrepreneurship than just learning about by yourself in the corner of your room, right? There's more to entrepreneurship than just struggling and crying tears to yourself, right? And feeling like you're wearing all these hats as a wife and a mother and a business owner, and you're the caregiver for all, right? But who's taking care of you, right? Who is taking care of you? Who has your back and ensuring that you are moving forward in the way that you should be, peacefully, productively, and with prosperity, right? And so there's some people who you want to keep in that stress state. It's comfortable for you. Okay, cool. By all means, keep in that stress, irritable state, right? But for others of you, you want to stop jogging in place. You look at your kids every day, and you think about the legacy and the vision that you have in mind, the movement that you're creating, the purpose that you are fulfilling, right? And you know that your business can be more than what it is today, right? You know that it can be more than what it is today. You know that there's more for you to offer. You know that what it is that you're offering is amazing and valuable, right? And so why not you? Why not you? That is the question, because it can be you. It can be you. You are one of the very few entrepreneurs out there in the world, and there's a reason for that, because it is meant to be you, right? And you're tired of the struggle bus. If you want growth, you want to stop being stuck and stagnant and move towards free and prosperous and flow, right? If you're looking to underwhelm or overwhelm, then let's connect. If you'd like to schedule time for my free Underwhelm or Overwhelm business session, I do have spots available for this week. So message me either on Facebook or LinkedIn to schedule time. And what we do in that session is we essentially work on unearthing the hidden challenges that have been holding you back from multiplying your business revenue and income thus far. We really get clear on a path for you to keep moving forward on growing your profit-producing, purpose-driven business, even with a demanding day job. Literally, I just had someone on the session earlier today. They cried. It was like tears of like relief and joy, and just it was a whole bunch of stuff, right, in that session. And so it is, people find a nice therapeutic opportunity. But with that being said, if you would like to schedule time, but I'm not a therapist, if you'd like to schedule time for my free Underwhelm or Overwhelm business session, you're welcome to schedule time. Message me, essentially Facebook on LinkedIn or LinkedIn, to schedule time, and I'll be happy to share that with you. And so have a beautiful, beautiful evening and day, depending on when you're watching this, and chat with you next week, every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Set that weekly alarm. Chat soon.